Long before the cities of Ghana grew tall and loud, there was a kingdom hidden between forests and rivers. The people were farmers and weavers, hard-working people. At sunrise, the women pounded fufu. At midday, the men worked their cocoa farms, and in the evening, the smell of roasted plantain and groundnut soup filled the air. It was a peaceful land. But peace does not last when a greedy man sits on the throne. The king of that land was called King Kwaku Badu. From far away, he looked like a great ruler. Gold on his neck, gold on his wrists, gold even on his sandals. But a man's true wealth is not gold. It is his heart. And the heart of King Kwaku Badu had become very dark.
This harvest looks good this year. If the king allows us to keep it, that is the real problem.
King Kwaku Badu ruled from a palace filled with gold and power. To strangers, he looked like a great king blessed by the ancestors. But those who lived under his rule knew another truth. The farmers have brought their harvest, my king. Take all of it. My king, all of it. The palace must never go hungry. Soon the king began taking everything. Land, crops, even the wives of the men who served him. Fear spread through the kingdom like Harmattan wind.
They took Kojo's farm yesterday. And his wife too. This king fears no ancestors.
But even in dark times, laughter still found a place in the village. And the man responsible for that laughter was Kojo, the village clown.
Come dance with me! I have news! The king now has so many wives, he needs a map to find his bedroom.
Kojo, you will get us all arrested.
Relax, even the guards enjoy my jokes. Hey everyone, watch this! One more spin! Woo! Thank you, thank you!
Now listen carefully, because this is where the story begins to turn. In that same village lived a woman whose beauty and kindness were known everywhere. Her name was Ama.
Ama, your cooking smells wonderful today. Then come eat with us. And your husband? He will eat twice as much.
Ama's husband was Kwaku the weaver. He owned no gold and no land, but his hands created the finest kente cloth in the kingdom, and his heart loved only one woman.
You have been weaving since morning.
Good cloth needs patience.
For the king?
No, for the most beautiful woman in this village. One afternoon, the king rode through the village to inspect his lands. The people bowed their heads as he passed, but then his eyes saw Ama, and in that moment, desire entered his heart like fire.
Who is that woman? My king. She is Ama, wife of Kwaku the weaver.
Bring the weaver to my palace.
The palace of King Kwaku Badu stood tall above the village like a mountain of gold. But behind its shining walls lived secrets darker than the deepest river.
The king approaches! Bow your heads! Where is the weaver? He waits outside the throne room, my king. Good. Let him wait.
The palace was full of gold, but also full of rivalry. Because the king's wives competed every day for power, attention, and survival.
My king, the people complain again.
The people complain because they are poor.
Or maybe because they are hungry.
They should be grateful they live under my protection.
Protection or fear?
Inside the palace walls, whispers traveled faster than the wind. And nothing interested the queens more than the king's newest obsession.
I heard the king saw a village woman today. Another one? They say she is beautiful. Quiet. The king does not chase beauty. He collects it. And when he grows bored, then the woman disappears.
Not everyone in the palace admired the king. The prince himself had begun to question the man who ruled the kingdom. Why do the people fear my father?
My prince, sometimes power changes a man.
Or reveals who he really is?
At last, the weaver was brought before the throne. The king expected fear, but the man standing before him looked strangely calm.
So, you are the weaver.
Yes, my king.
I hear your wife is very beautiful. I want her.
When the king heard about Ama's beauty, a dangerous thought entered his mind. For King Kwaku Badu was a man who believed that anything he desired already belonged to him.
So, the woman's name is Ama?
Yes, my king, wife of the village weaver.
Another married woman?
I will see her myself.
Inside the palace, the king's wives watched everything. And nothing stirred jealousy faster than the king's interest in another woman.
I can already see it. See what? A new wife in this palace. The king does not marry them. He simply takes them.
Instead of summoning the woman to the palace, the king chose something more dangerous. He decided to visit the village himself.
My king, should we send soldiers first?
No. Some treasures are best collected personally.
Ama knew nothing about the storm moving toward her life. She was simply a woman who loved her husband and lived quietly among her people.
Ama, your husband works too hard. He loves his job.
And you? I love him.
And then it happened. The king finally stood before the woman who had captured his attention.
So you are Ama.
Yes, my king.
The stories about your beauty were not exaggerated.
My husband is the lucky one, my king.
We shall see about that. I know what I want.
The king believed every heart could be bought, and gold had always been his most powerful weapon.
A gift for you.
My king, I cannot accept this.
Why not?
I'm a married woman.
The king was not a man who accepted rejection, and the air in the village suddenly grew heavy.
You refuse a gift from your king?
My loyalty belongs to my husband.
Think carefully, Ama. In this kingdom, refusal has consequences.
The king did not notice that someone else had been watching everything. Ama's husband had seen the entire encounter, and inside his mind, a dangerous plan was beginning to grow.
The king wants your wife. I know. What will you do? Nothing for now. You are not afraid? The king should be...
When the king returned from the village, the palace walls themselves could feel his anger for the first time in many years, and that was something had dared to refuse him.
I will not forgive! The palace walls feel my anger. A woman dared to refuse me. King Kwaku Badu cannot forgive. She will learn the price of defiance. She refused me! King, the weaver's wife!
A village woman rejected the king?
She dared to stand before me and say no! My pride has been wounded. And a wounded pride is more dangerous than sword. Does she know who I am? You are the ruler of Asantaman, my king. Then how does a peasant woman refuse me?
Maybe she loves her husband.
Love does not protect people from kings.
The queens watched the king carefully. They knew his temper well, and they also knew that the woman named Ama had just become the most dangerous woman in the kingdom.
Perhaps she simply needs persuasion.
What kind of persuasion?
Gold usually works. Or fear.
In that moment, the king made a decision that would change many lives. Because when a powerful man becomes obsessed, reason often disappears.
She thinks she can play with fire. I will send her gifts. And if she refuses again, then her husband will learn the price of disrespect.
But the king was not the only one listening in that palace. Behind a tall pillar, the young prince had heard every word, and the prince was beginning to fear the man his father had become.
All this for a village woman? The king does not like rejection. Then the kingdom may soon suffer for it.
The king's anger did not fade. Instead, it began to grow into something darker and dangerous.
Gods! Prepare gifts for the weaver's wife. Gold, silk, and a message.
What message, my king?
No one rejects the king twice.
Wounded pride. And on that night, the king of Asantaman felt something he had not felt in many years. Humiliation.
A weaver's wife. She dared to refuse me.
The king had taken lands from farmers, wives from husbands, and wealth from villages. No one had ever told him no.
Do they think I am weak?
My king, no one thinks that.
Then explain this! A peasant woman refuses her king.
Queen Akosua had seen the king in many moods, but the look on his face tonight worried her more than anger, because it looked like wounded pride.
King Kofi, I've seen you in many moods. But tonight your look worries me more than anger. It looks like wounded pride. My king, the palace servants are frightened.
They should be.
All this anger for a village woman?
You do not understand.
Then help me understand.
Sometimes the most dangerous anger is not loud. It is the quiet anger of a man whose pride has been wounded.
She looked at me like I was just another man.
You are a man.
I am the king. Do you know what that woman told me?
A loyal wife is not a crime.
But rejecting a king is... Wounded pride often demands revenge. And my pride was now burning like dry grass in the Harmattan wind. If I allow this, the whole kingdom will hear of it.
And if they do,
They will think the king can be refused. And that will never happen. What began as curiosity was quickly becoming something darker. I no longer simply desired Ama. I needed to prove that no one could deny me. Send her gifts.
And if she refuses again?
Then the kingdom will learn a lesson.
And what lesson is that, my king?
That the king's pride is not something people survive insulting. My loyal guards, your vigilance is the foundation of our kingdom's strength.
Yes, Your Majesty. We are ever ready to serve.
Rise and stand with me. A proud man rarely accepts defeat. And I, the king of Asantaman, had decided that gold would succeed where pride had failed. Prepare gifts. What kind of gifts, my king? The kind that makes people forget their loyalty. Gold jewelry, fine silk, and the sweetest fruits from the royal gardens, as you command. And the message, my king? Tell her the king is generous to those who are wise.
The king's gifts are coming!
And when the king's guards were seen carrying gifts toward the weaver's house, the entire village began to talk.
Aha! Have you seen the king's men?
Yes, they are going to a man's house.
Hey! So the king has started farming in another man's garden. Kojo, one day your mouth will get you killed.
If the king kills me, who will make him laugh?
While the village talked, Amma and her husband continued their simple life. But peace rarely survives when kings become involved.
You have been quiet since yesterday.
I am thinking.
About the king?
Yes.
He looked at me like I was something he
That
already
the king
owned.
believes he owns everything.
Before long, the king's men arrived. And the entire village gathered to watch what would happen next.
Amma, wife of Kwaku.
Yes.
A gift from the king. The king admires your beauty. He invites you to visit the palace.
The whole village held its breath. Because everyone knew the king was not a man who liked to hear the word no.
Please take these back.
You refuse the king.
I respect the king, but I belong with my husband.
The king will not like this.
I know.
Most men would tremble in such a moment. But the weaver did not. Because he knew something the king hoped no one would ever discover.
You allow your wife to insult the king? My wife speaks her heart. The king may punish you. The king may try. Hey, the king sent gold and still got nothing? If I knew refusing kings was this easy, I would have started years ago.
Kojo, the king will hear you.
Then maybe he will learn something.
The gifts had been rejected, and now the king would hear the news. And when a proud king hears such news, trouble is never far behind. And the king waited patiently for the answer he believed was already his. Because men like King Kwaku Badu do not expect rejection. They expect obedience. My king, we delivered the gifts. And she refused them. Some men lose battles, others lose kingdoms. But for the king, this was something far worse. He had lost his pride.
She refused again?
Yes, my king.
A village woman rejects the king of our Santaman?
This will not end well.
Does she think I am a joke? No one rejects the king twice.
My king, perhaps she is loyal to her husband.
Then her husband will learn what loyalty costs.
Not everyone in the palace admired the king's decision. The young prince watched quietly, and in his heart, a seed of doubt had begun to grow.
All this anger for a married woman?
The king does not like being refused.
Then the kingdom may soon suffer for it.
That night the king made a decision. If gold could not bring Amma to the palace, then the king himself would go to her.
Prepare my horse.
My king, now?
Yes. If she will not come to the palace will go to her.
That same night, the king of Asanta did something unusual. Instead of waiting in his palace, he rode into the village himself. Because a man whose pride is wounded often stops thinking like a king.
My king, the villagers will be asleep. Good. Should we bring soldiers? No. This is a matter of pride.
Inside their small home, Amma and her husband sat quietly, far from the palace, far from the king's gold. But danger was already riding toward their door.
Do you think the king will stop?
No.
Then what will happen to us?
Sometimes the king must be allowed to walk into his own trap.
What trap?
You will see.
Someone who sees everything. And in this village, that man was Kojo.
Hey, who is riding at this hour? Even the king cannot sleep because of love. Wake up! The king has come to collect his bride.
The whole village watched in silence. Because when a king walks into a man's home at night, nothing good usually follows.
This will bring trouble.
The king never gives up.
Poor Kwaku.